They laughed when he walked onto the range, an old man in a faded jacket, carrying a bright orange rifle that looked like a child's toy under the desert sun. The young Marines smirked, whispering among themselves, "Who let Grandpa in here?" But 10 minutes later, those same Marines were standing silent, their jaws locked, their pride shattered, as the old man's orange rifle echoed through the canyon, hitting a steel target 4 kilometers away with surgical precision. No one knew who he was. No one until the general himself came running. The desert range of Camp Pendleton shimmered under the Californian sun. A group of young Marines, sweating in their gear, gathered for the annual Extreme Range Challenge. It was a test of skill, patience, and pride. Whoever hit the furthest confirmed target would earn not just a medal, but the respect of the Corps. Staff Sergeant Miller, a loud, broad-shouldered Marine with an ego as big as his biceps, was bragging already. "No one's touching my 2,500-meter record, boys," he said, loading his Barrett with a grin. That's when the sound of slow footsteps echoed. Everyone turned. An old man in his late 60s, wearing a dusty cap and faded desert boots, was walking toward the firing line. His rifle case was battered, and when he opened it, every Marine stopped talking. It wasn't a Barrett. It wasn't military issue. It was an orange-painted custom bolt rifle, worn from years of use, with tape around the stock and initials carved near the trigger, EV. "Nice Nerf gun, Grandpa!" Miller shouted, laughter erupting across the line. "Hope it shoots marshmallows," another Marine added. The old man smiled quietly, his eyes calm and unbothered. He set the rifle down gently, checked the scope, and whispered to himself, "Let's see if the old girl still remembers." Sergeant Harris, the range officer, frowned. "Sir, civilians aren't allowed in this drill." But before he could say more, a call came through his radio. "Let him shoot." "That's a direct order from command." Confused but obedient, Harris nodded. "All right, old-timer. Show us what you got." The Marines backed up, snickering. The old man laid down, adjusted his bipod, and looked through the scope. The wind was rough. The target was nearly invisible, a steel plate at 4,000 meters. Even top snipers rarely tried beyond 3,000. He took a long breath, feeling the air, the temperature, the humidity. He watched the heat waves rise from the sand. His finger rested lightly on the trigger. "Orange rifle, huh?" Miller mocked. The old man just smiled again. "Yeah, built her in '03. She saved more lives than you can count." The silence thickened. Then, boom! The shot cracked through the air. A long pause followed, 5 seconds, then 6. And then, a faint metallic clang echoed back from miles away. The spotters froze. "Holy, hit confirmed," one shouted. "Target at 4,000 meters, impact." The laughter died instantly. Miller's grin disappeared. The Marine stared in disbelief as the old man calmly reloaded, adjusted his scope again, and said softly, "One more, just to make sure." Another boom. Another perfect hit. No computer assistance. No fancy scope. Just instinct and decades of experience. The range went silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. 10 minutes later, 2 military vehicles raced down the hill toward the range. Dust clouded the air as the Marines straightened up. A decorated general, followed by armed officers, stepped out and walked directly to the old man. Every Marine snapped to attention. "Sir, permission to ask, who is this guy?" Miller whispered. The general removed his sunglasses slowly. "That," he said, voice low but heavy with respect, "is Master Gunnery Sergeant Elias Vance, the ghost of Sanjin." The name hit like a grenade. Even Miller, the cocky sniper, went pale. Elias Vance. The legendary Marine sniper from the Afghanistan War. The man rumored to have saved an entire platoon during the Battle of Sanjin with a single shot through a sandstorm at over 3,800 meters. Officially, his record was unconfirmed. Unofficially, it was untouchable. The general approached Vance. "Didn't think I'd ever see that rifle again," he said quietly. Vance smiled faintly. She's been sleeping too long. Thought I'd wake her up one last time. The general nodded, emotion softening his tone. You just broke every record on this base, old friend. The young Marines were silent, guilt and awe mixing in their eyes. Miller stepped forward awkwardly. Sir. I'm sorry for. Vance interrupted gently. Don't be sorry, son. Laughter's good for the heart. Just remember, respect isn't about age or looks. It's about earning it, one bullet, one moment, one breath at a time. He turned back toward his truck, the orange rifle slung across his back. The sun reflected off its bright surface, no longer a joke, but a badge of history. As he drove away, the general looked at the Marines and said quietly, Men like him built the corps you serve. Never forget the ghosts that taught you how to fight. And on the range, the steel target still stood 2 perfect holes through its heart. No one ever laughed at an old rifle again. Military medal ending message, for YouTube narration. Don't judge the weapon by its color, nor the warrior by his age. Some heroes don't wear uniforms anymore, but they never stop serving.